Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D.
Brief.
This is the D Brief.
Go. Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's
arts and entertainment scene.
This is the D
Brief.
Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. This, of course, is the Debrief, your podcast for Detroit concerts, comedy, plays, food, drink, and more. It is Tuesday, May 7th, 2019, and I'm your co-host. My name is Seth Ressler.
And I'm Becky Scarcello. You always make me laugh, Seth.
That's what I try.
Thanks for giving me a little burst of energy here on this night.
If you don't know, I am the new guy to Detroit. 4 years, still new, still playing the new guy cards. I'm still feigning ignorance.
And I am the native.
Here's what we've got on today's show. Mother's Day is coming up. We'll try and find something for you to do if you haven't done anything for your mom yet.
And I'm going to tell you about summer concerts coming up.
A couple of Detroiters have been nominated for Tonys, so we will find out who they are.
Coming up Friday, we're going to interview Paul Reiser of Techtown Detroit to talk about the new Motown Musician Accelerator program, which we're just super excited about.
I am excited about this. I think this is really cool. So we talked about this a little bit on the podcast last week, and I'm glad we're getting somebody who really knows about the program to talk about
sounds
it.
Excellent.
Don't forget, we have an email list. Here's the deal. We talk about a lot of stuff on this show. If you want links to everything that we talk about, all you got to do is go to our website, thedebriefdetroit.com, and while you're there, sign up for the email list. We will email you a list of links to everything we talk about.
You can also just text the word Detroit to 444-999 to get our emails that way.
All right, let's get into it and meet today's guest host.
The Brief.
All right. I love having the comedians on the show.
And another female. I like having the ladies join. So
there we go. So we both win on this one.
Yeah.
I want to welcome comedian Tonya Murray. She's got a brand new debut album called It Was My Birthday. She's opened for Dave Attell, Jeff Ross, Jim Norton, Dave Landau. Tonya, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hello.
Nice to be here.
And somebody who's done some radio, right?
A little bit in my past, yes.
Very good. You keep that a secret? Do you hide that? Are you ashamed?
Not at all. That was fun.
I am.
Cool stories and yeah.
All right, the brand new album, It Was My Birthday, is out. This is your debut album. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I love your cover art and the whole, you said the whole idea was like you can kind of blame anything. Like, oh, it was my birthday.
Exactly.
You gotta let me go.
Well, can I tell you how that started?
Yes.
Being my joke. It was before I was even doing stand-up, but I was at a euchre party, and they had a card game where they would call off certain things, and if you had done that, you had to take a drink. And there were certain things where I was the only one drinking, and people noticed. And so when they would look at me and say, Tonya, I would say, well, it was my birthday. And then suddenly it was acceptable.
Oh, nice.
So it's just carried over.
It's a good excuse. Can you use that in court?
Probably not as much there, but everywhere else.
Everywhere else.
Yes.
So where was this recorded?
That was recorded at the Holly Hotel, the historic Holly Hotel in Holly, Michigan, back in January.
Oh, that's a great room. Mm-hmm. I've
Fun
seen
room.
comedy shows there. You perform there often?
I'm actually going to be headlining there next month, June 21st and 22nd, so I'm super excited about that. But I'm usually there a couple times a year.
So
Nice.
tell people, because you've never been to see comedy.
I've been to the Holly Hotel, but not to see comedy, and people rave about it. So
Yeah, go have dinner first and then come on down and see a comedy show.
nice.
Yeah, explain how it is, because it's on this downstairs level.
Yeah, the basement of the Holly Hotel is actually with the comedy room, and they've been doing comedy there for, I think, decades, actually, a really long time.
And how big is the room? Like how many people? Or
I want to say, it's an intimate room. It might hold 100 people, maybe 150 possibly.
and good vibes usually.
Super good vibes. Everybody's there as long as they're not completely in a food coma,
Right.
which might happen, but no, everybody's there to laugh. They're not so easily offended. They're just there to have a good time. So one of my favorite rooms by far that I've played.
You know who I saw there was Bill Bouchard, who teaches the Comedy 101 class over at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. And we'd never seen him. And so we went to the Holly Hotel to see him. And he's a super nice, super encouraging guy, like helps you get up on stage. And then he's like foul. He's like
filthy,
dirty, and not just dirty, but like mean. He's like Don Rickles.
Yeah.
Because Don Rickles is like his hero, right? And
It's shocking when you take his class, because I took his class too, and he told me to be careful because I talk a lot about sex in my act, and he kept saying be careful, and I'd never seen him perform. And then, like you, I went to see him perform at the Holly Hotel and was just blown away.
Yeah.
Just blown away.
There's
He's
just
great,
a lot of
though.
force. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the there's a lot of
got the edge to him.
Yes, there's a lot of edge. Well, cool. Well, we're so glad that you're here. Like you said, June 21st and 22nd at the Holly Hotel.
Yeah.
And people can get all the details online where?
At hollyhotel.com.
And you've got
And
a
my
website as well?
website, yeah, tonyamurray.com.
All right, perfect. Well, hang out and enjoy the show.
The debrief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.
All right, Becky, let's start with music news.
Okay, so I've been in a lot of airports recently. I know you guys have traveled. How do you feel about the TSA interaction? Do you ever feel uncomfortable or like a little bit violated at all?
I specifically wear my Hard Rock T-shirt that has some beading around it just so that I will get the pat down.
Oh, okay. So you seek it out.
Super intentional.
Nice.
If I had a piece of clothing that would get me a pat down, I would absolutely wear it every single day of my life. Unfortunately,
We'll have to bedazzle you something.
Well, you could
Seth.
do, at least the jeans with the big bedazzled pockets on the back.
yeah, I'll try that and
Get a
see if people
little-
start grabbing me.
A little ass pat.
Yeah.
Well, so I bring this up because our favorite Diana Ross, she just performed at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, had a great time, said it was a super experience, that she was treated like royalty there. But going home in the New Orleans airport, she had the situation with a TSA agent, said it almost made her want to cry. She felt very violated. This agent was touching her between her legs, both front and back. Ugh. And she tweeted all about it, a series of tweets like, I just was basically treated like S at the airport. And so the TSA spokesman said they're investigating, but they watched the initial video of it and said, seems to be protocol.
This is normal.
Yeah, they seems to be protocol. So they're committed to, making sure they follow this through, that everybody's treated with respect. But, what's the line between...
So have you gotten patted down? And
not too bad myself, but I had a definitely disturbing situation with my son. And, they do those little wipes of your hands, and sometimes they pick up stuff from your fingertips. So they did that with him, and something came up, metallic. And so he had to take his shoes off, go through there. Like, they were eliminating everything and said, we're going to have to give him the full body pat down.
Oh, God.
And when it's minors, we go to a private room. Do you want to come, Mom? Like, yes. But, it was a full body invasive pat down. And you know what it was, is there was like the slightest amount of glitter on his fingers because he was doing a little art project with his younger girl cousins.
well, I'm sure
And it's
Diana
like-
Ross is never around glitter.
It doesn't sound like, yeah, I know. Maybe it was between us, but
maybe we've identified the source of the problem
we may
there.
because I know that's a hot button thing. So I can get what she's saying, but who knows?
Yeah, no, I've never had that problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't wear a lot of glitter.
No, maybe you should start.
Yeah, maybe.
Gives you that nice shine. So summer, yay, coming up. Everybody looks forward to. I love Michiganders in this way, that once it gets nice out, people are out and they're happier and they're like skipping around.
So
and,
much happier.
Oh yeah, doing outdoor things. Like, we don't take it for granted. If it's nice, we're out doing stuff. So summer concerts are the perfect example of this. I just love them. And Seth, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to experience. Like,
I really haven't. And
I know you don't go to a lot of shows, but
I used to. It used to be my job because I worked in radio, and so every summer, primarily when I was in Boston and Providence, we'd have to go out to these outdoor shed venues and do live remote broadcasts. So you've done
Sure.
stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, where you're sitting out there getting sunburned
All
backstage
day,
all day,
yeah.
talking to,
I get it.
So it feels like work to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Do you have trouble going to comedy shows sometimes? You know,
No,
it feels
I
like-
love going to comedy
really?
shows, yeah.
This felt like
She's
work
not
to me.
jaded
I'm
like
jaded
you.
is my problem.
Well, what I like too, the outdoor venues, because you can often, sit on the lawn for inexpensive, So if it's not that important for you to be in the pavilion, see up close.
But here's the other thing: is I'm spoiled now.
Well, yes.
You know?
Yeah, I really want seats.
I am too.
I get the seats.
And I used to not have to pay
I just
for
think
them.
it's nice for accessibility.
Yeah,
Like,
I get
people
it.
But
can
the problem
10,
is
20
the
bucks.
drunks. Like, I don't want to be tripped
Yes.
over by the drunks.
Good
and
point.
that's what happens
Stepping
on the
your
lawn.
hand,
Right.
or
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
like barf or
Right.
stuff. Yeah. So depends on your age range and your tolerance, but there's options. So DTE by far is the most popular outdoor venue, also the biggest. So they usually kick off with, we were talking about this, Eddie Money's, almost always their inaugural show, but this year they're switching it up. So May 19th is their first show, and it's Slayer.
Boy, are they switching it up.
So, and all these bands that go with, this is going to be our last tour. And then it's not the last tour. And then they do it. Slayer's one of those. So this could be Slayer's last run, but they're opening up. A few other big shows coming up on DTE's stage is Bob Seger's. He's going to do 6 nights in June.
Well, this really is going to be his last show, right? He's done.
I would be very surprised if it's not. Yeah. He has set his retirement tour.
And we've talked about this in the past with, for example, music writer Gary Graff. It talked about what would you do if it were, your career-ending shows in your hometown.
With all your fans. And do you think of the 6 nights that'll be like substantially different from night to night?
He's got to have special guests. He's got to.
You've got to. I mean, imagine 40 years from now when you're doing your final run of comedy shows.
Tanya's big retirement tour.
Yes.
What would you do with that?
I mean, you got to go out big. It's got to bring in all the bells and whistles that you can possibly think of.
So who are we betting is going to come up on stage with him? Kid Rock?
Maybe. I mean, Kid Rock himself's doing 4 shows there, but in September. You would think some of just like the I don't know, studio and band mates, from over the years.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to do names.
But you got to do names,
I mean, I get
too,
that maybe you thank people who have been instrumental in your career,
right.
But you got to do something that the audience is going to go,
oh
whoa,
my gosh,
Beyonce showed up at, you got to have that sort of moment. And I don't know that it's got to be somebody young or radically different from what you do.
Be cool, yeah.
I don't even know if
you think he would have like some of the Motown
stars,
if
he cares about the Detroit, and I don't even know that it has to be somebody from Detroit,
No, it doesn't.
It's obviously a lot easier. So I don't know. I wonder what's going to happen there. I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen.
Oh, right. I know. I agree. Yeah, there's got to be something special.
Yeah.
I bet there will. So there's also country favorites coming outdoors to the DT. Florida Georgia Line's coming in August. Jason Aldean in September. Another one of my favorite outdoor amphitheaters is Meadowbrook. And that's a little bit smaller, more intimate. You can bring a picnic. There doesn't tend to be as many drunks or craziness going on. But they're opening May 11th. The 1975 is opening their season. I know I've got some on my lineup at Meadowbrook. Anderson .Paak in June and Gary Clark Jr. in August. It's just a little bit more intimate and fun to see people there.
I saw Carrot Top there, and it was fabulous.
Yeah?
Really? Yeah, he was great, and it was such a great venue.
Yeah, nice.
All right, wait, stop, because I've got to ask this, and I'm asking this seriously.
Okay,
I'm not facetiously, because Carrot Top was always kind of a punchline, I guess, in my frame of reference in terms of a comedian. I don't even know.
So you don't think he could hold a stage for that
long?
Well,
no, I mean, I know he does residencies in Vegas and everything.
Oh yeah, he was just great. I mean, he did a lot of his props. He had a props segment that he did, but he just was nonstop funny telling stories.
So we're actually at a point where I don't even know where that gelled in my head that way. Wasn't there a period where he was like the comedian that it was okay to talk smack about? Him and Pauly Shore, or is that just my imagination?
Oh, he was like the Nickelback?
Yes, kind of. Okay. Yeah, kind of like
Carrot
that.
Top?
Yeah, is that totally my imagination?
I think when he started getting all, right when he started developing his body and was working out, actually that was, it was a long time ago I saw him there, but I was like, is he wearing a fake chest or some joke? And they're like, no, that's really his body. All of a sudden it's where did this come from?
All right, so maybe it's just, I don't know where I carry that from. I have no idea. Sorry, I digress. Go on.
So yeah, a couple other outdoor spots. Michigan Lottery, Freedom Hill. That's over in your neck of the woods, right, Tonya? Mm-hmm. Sterling Heights area.
Love Freedom Hill.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
And Shane Park, which isn't Shane Park anymore, the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater.
Now, how long is it going to be before people actually call it the Aretha Franklin
I think
Amphitheater?
it's going to take some time.
I still say Pine Knob for DTE,
exactly.
so I don't know what to tell you there.
Just going to say that. Yeah, Pine Knob. Yep.
So we'll see.
So overall in town, there's not a ton of huge superstar shows just because they're not happen to be touring this summer. But all the sort of favorites, the music festivals, those retro band get-togethers where there'll be 5 to 10 80s bands bands and all that good stuff will be on the summer lineup.
Young MC and Salt and Pepper.
Exactly. All that kind of goodies. And Lizzo, who we talked about recently being at Coachella, she's got a sold-out show at St. Andrews Hall on May 15th. And then she'll be, I love this festival, Mopop, the summer festival Mopop. She'll be there headlining on July 27th.
Okay, wait. So let's settle something once and for all.
Okay.
Are we calling Lizzo a Detroiter?
You know, I didn't think so, but I've seen in a couple instances now where it says she was born in Detroit.
In the press.
Yes. So
Press that
I
can
cannot confirm or deny.
afford better fact checkers than we can.
Right.
Okay.
So I hesitate, but I had never heard that prior. And I've been a fan of Lizzo for quite some time.
Because what I've seen is she grew up in Texas for a while, and then it was
I think
Minnesota.
It's a Minneapolis connection of some sort. Yeah.
And that she's only now playing Detroit, but she does have some sort of
Yeah.
Detroit connection.
This will be her first show here. So maybe she was literally born and then moved.
And then moved. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I was born in Binghamton, New York, and I was 6 when we moved to California. I consider myself a Californian.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I don't think Lizzo is saying, hey, I'm Detroiter. So.
right, like milking the roots. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
well, when I get big and go on tour and play my Binghamton show, you
Then
better
you-
believe.
Pull that out. The press there.
That's
will
my
be,
ace in the hole.
Yeah. I can see that really working for you. Yeah. So I have to mention this cool album. I listened to the single. I was a little skeptical. So you know those Pure Michigan ads? So that
Yes.
has the voice. And,
Right.
explains the part in Michigan. So they now have an album. It's ambient sounds of nature. Okay, I know. It makes you laugh, right? From 10 of Michigan state parks. And then they blend it in with music from Michigan artists, Michigan musicians. So, yeah, trust me. I put it on our Instagram a while ago. You should check it out. So the single that's out now is called Childhood Memories. So it sounds schmaltzy, right?
And it's like Eminem featuring the Sleeping Bear Dunes.
That would be an incredible mashup. But no, this is kids playing in the Petoskey State Park, and it's mixed with music composed by John Beltran. So it's kind of like meditative. I'm interested to see what the whole album will sound like, but it's called Pure Sounds of Michigan, and it's streaming everywhere May 22nd.
Is it just sounds of them laughing and running around?
The single. It's better than it sounds.
Okay.
But yeah, the other ones will be, I mean, it's not just going to be like a waterfall, but leaves rustling.
Not screaming kids?
No.
That old man in the background yelling at them to get off the lawn. That's me. I'm uncredited.
Yeah.
I should be getting paid.
We'll
but-
know your voice when we hear it. Yeah.
We'll just get the album and then we'll dub you yelling
Right.
in the background.
Oh, we could have our
that.
own
Totally,
debrief.
we should.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should do that. We should make remixes.
Oh,
That'll be my
that's
bonus
so-
track on my second album.
Oh,
Instead
my
of
God,
Puff Daddy sitting there
love
going
it.
bad boy in the background, it'll
Yeah.
be like, yes.
Get off my lawn. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
And we'll put it to a beat.
Oh, goals. All right. Couple of concert picks. KT Tunstall's coming Wednesday, May 8th at El Club. Mayor Hawthorne, he's going to do a DJ set this Friday, the 10th at Deluxe Plus. I'm going to go check that out. I think it'd be pretty cool. The Fillmore has Maren Morris on Saturday night and MGMT next Monday night. And one of my favorite bands, St. Lucia, is coming next Wednesday, May 15th at The Loving Touch.
Keep up with us. Download our mobile app.
The D. Breathe.
All right, Tonya, I'm making a prediction right now. When you leave this podcast tonight, you're going to say to yourself, I want to do a podcast. That was fun. You do a lot of podcasts as a comedian?
I've started to do more of them, yes.
They're fun, right?
They are fun.
They're entertaining. What's happened is we've had so many people from the arts and entertainment world come on this show, and they've all said the same thing.
I would like to start a podcast, or people have been telling me I should start a podcast, or do you think I should start a podcast?
Yeah, so here's the deal. We launched Michigan Podcast Production. The whole idea is if you are an arts or entertainment organization here in the Detroit area and you're thinking about launching a podcast but you don't know where to start, we will help you. We will do it all for you. We'll get you up and running and get you up and off the ground. If you want more information, just head over to our website. It is michiganpodcastproductions.com.
This is the D. Breathe.
All right, let's talk about some of the things that are happening around town. Starting with this, I have not lived here for that long, and there's that state fairgrounds
Sure.
or former state, like the graveyard of the state fairgrounds that's over at Woodward and 8 Mile. And every time I pass that, I'm like,
Sad.
well, kind of.
Yeah.
You kind of look at it, you go,
What's that?
this would be a great space for something.
Yeah, right. Why is it just so much space sitting there? Yeah.
Right, and you like, I don't know, like, what would you put there?
Yeah, I think some sort of entertainment venues that could be used by community that were like fun, but not cheesy and not just seasonal. So things like go-karts could be outdoors, or they could be another bowling arena or bocce ball or wiffle ball, all that kind of stuff. Maybe bowling alley. Like, I think we could use more things like that for people to get out and do.
Are we
agree.
missing something? Is there something that Detroit doesn't have that other cities have in that respect?
Didn't you say there's no movie theater really around?
Well, yeah, there's one in the Rents, and I know there is a planned movie theater, but yeah, a movie theater would be another idea. Just a whole like entertainment complex.
Because the advantage of this is that it's easy to get to.
Right. It's
Right.
very easy to get to from numerous places. There's even bus routes that go right there.
So it's something that people could get to. I
Yeah.
mean,
That brings people together, and yeah.
I don't know what it would be. Well, we're going to find out because the sale of the State Fairgrounds is complete. They hosted the State Fair there from 1905 to 2009. That's a long run. That's a good run.
is a
It
good
is
run.
a really good run.
104
Yeah.
years. And I got to tell you, I am not a State Fair kind of guy.
It's not really my bag, but
No, like, do you
popular.
ever show up and eat the fried butter or whatever?
Oh, the elephant ear is my favorite. Elephant ears. Armada Fair. See, that was my side of town. My friends, we all went to the Armada Fair every year, and we still do. And yeah, I have to get an elephant ear.
See, you're like my girlfriend. She loves that. The funnel cake or you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
And
mean,
the-
I used to like to go see like the ribbons for the crazy things, like the most enormous pumpkin, and
Yeah.
the butter sculpture, and the birthing tent where you can see like baby animals. But it's just crazy.
Wait,
and
they birth on cue?
well, they have, it could happen this week. This sheep is ready to go.
We got a show at 2:00.
No, you got to just wander in. They want you coming every day. See, there's the baby sheeps.
It's the lure.
I guess they call those
I'm
lambs.
just thinking when aliens come down to colonize this planet and they like...
Oh, State Fair would be one of those places that they go, what is up?
Well,
with
I'm
these
thinking they're going to
people?"
round us up and they're going to make a state fair out of us and,
On display?
And you're going to be in a birthing tent going...
Yeah. Oh, God.
My worst nightmare.
That would seriously, yeah.
Anyway, it's been vacant for the last 10 years. The Michigan Land Bank is selling 142 acres to the city for $7 million. 2 weeks before that, actually, Magic Johnson, the basketball player, his company, Magic Plus, purchased 16 acres of it. So he's doing something with a little bit of it. And
Oh, yeah, I wonder. What else they could do is that, like that area in Vegas, that's all the shipping containers. Repurposed.
Well, we kind of have one of those
We have
here.
Detroit Shipping Company, but something bigger that was.
Well, Vegas, they have the big like grasshopper that breathes fire outside of the shipping containers.
Well, sure,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Have you been
yeah.
to that? Have you been to that?
I have not heard of that.
Oh, it's leftover from what's the festival they do out in California? The
Burning
Man. It's this art installation that was at Burning Man, and now it's you've been to Detroit Shipping Company where they've built all everything out of shipping
It's a
containers.
food
I have
hall.
not.
Oh,
That's
you gotta
great.
go.
And there's
Yeah.
comedy there
There's
too.
comedy on Sunday nights. That's where 313 Presents is doing their comedy shows.
Nice.
But they don't have, like they do in Vegas, this big grasshopper statue out of metal that breathes fire.
But maybe it'd be even bigger and have sort of a shipping container village in there.
that would be cool. So, all right, let's talk about Tonys. When it comes to
The men Tonys or the awards?
the awards.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any men named Tony.
Tony Soprano or, famous Tonys. I didn't
Yeah.
know where you were going with
No,
that. Okay.
let's talk about the Tony Awards. These are the
Okay.
theater awards. You're going for your EGOT, I assume. Your Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
I hadn't really thought that far. I have on my vision board, I have my Oscar and my Emmy, but I didn't have a Tony on it.
You didn't. You just.
It didn't even dawn on me.
You just had ego.
I just had
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
If you throw a Grammy in there.
Wait,
yeah.
let's stop for a moment and talk about this vision board thing, though, because this is a thing. I've
a
heard
real
about
thing.
this.
I think I should do one. I'm a little lost
How
on
did,
my vision.
how did exactly did you do a vision board? How did this come about?
Years of watching the Oprah show.
Oh, good point.
And actually, I have Oprah on my vision board with a little caption. She's holding my book, and it says, Tonya Murray's here, above her head in a little bubble.
yeah, I
That's
think
cool.
things women learn from Oprah is get a bra that fits
Absolutely.
and make a vision board.
Right.
That's like the top. Yeah.
What's on your vision board?
I don't have one. I need to because I've been feeling a little lost with what my whole plan is.
I just wanted her to be interviewing me and then have me pull out my vision board and say, look,
Here you are.
this
It
is
came true.
Like right what I was looking for, yeah.
Well, Jeff Daniels, who's of course from the area, he must have on his vision board the T, in EGOT, because he's
chance.
up for a Tony for his role in To Kill a Mockingbird. This is the version that Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The West Wing and wrote Sports Night and did so many other great movies, A Few Good Men. He wrote this version of To Kill a Mockingbird. Jeff Daniels plays Atticus Finch in it, and now in addition to his 2 Emmys, he's up for a Tony.
Very cool.
I remember David Kiley, our expert on theater, was saying he made a special trip to see this and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he just said, really great.
So let me ask you this. Riddle me this, Batman. What are the 2 Emmys
That
that
Jeff
Jeff Daniels has won?
Oh gosh. You put me on the spot. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Give me a hint.
One of them's an HBO show.
Oh, I won't know.
Oh, see, I knew this. So this was also written by Aaron Sorkin. Newsroom. He was the lead actor.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that? Have you
I
ever
haven't seen it, but
Newsroom?
I've heard of it.
Do yourself a favor. Go watch the opening monologue of the very first episode, the pilot episode of Newsroom. We'll put it in the show notes. We'll get a clip of it from your YouTube.
Okay.
This is perhaps the best monologue I have ever seen in my life.
And Jeff Daniels is
Yes,
is
it was
actor.
it was the thing that finally made me go, "Oh, Jeff Daniels is not just the guy from Dumb and
Oh
Dumber."
no, he's amazing.
He's amazing. So that was one.
Okay.
The other, I didn't actually know this one, was supporting actor for Godless in 2018. I don't know what that is.
yeah.
So that's what his 2 Emmys are. Maybe he'll get the Tony as well. Other Detroiters up for Tonys, the playwright that we've talked about on the podcast quite a bit before, Dominique Morisseau, was nominated for her book, which the Motown-inspired musical Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations is based on.
Yeah.
In fact, Ain't Too Proud received 12 nominations, including ones for Best Director and Best Leading Actor in a Musical. What are you writing exactly? You writing a musical? Could your book be turned into a musical at some point?
Not in my vision.
Not
but
in
you
your
never
vision
know.
board? I think you should add some musical notes to that. I think maybe that's what Oprah's doing.
Maybe that's what I've been missing.
Yeah, well, maybe
Perhaps.
Oprah's turning it into a musical.
Oh, yeah, you write it. It'll be a play.
It will be on the
yeah.
OWN network.
Right.
Yes.
2025.
I'm going to read it in my calendar. Yes.
And finally, the woman who will compete for Best Featured Actress, the woman who plays Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, nice.
She's also from the Detroit area, and she's up for a Tony as well. Tony Award's going to be broadcast live on June 9th on CBS. James Corden, who I'm a fan of.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
he's going to be hosting as well.
Well, I haven't seen these, but I did finally see Hamilton.
You did?
So I did feel good about that. Yeah. And I really was at the point where, like, how great can it be? But it's brilliant. It's really great.
Okay,
I
cool.
Very much enjoyed it. And I wish everything that I don't understand in history was told in this manner.
In hip-hop?
Yes.
In
in
rapping?
hip hop,
You'd
for
understand it a
sure.
lot better?
And with mixed cast members.
Right.
Just seeing like Thomas Jefferson, but played by a black actor. It turns everything into, you're really in the essence of the story. Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Sunday's Mother's Day. Yeah, you're a mother. You're not, Tonya.
I'm a fur mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got pets.
I've got
They don't
dogs.
traditionally give the best Mother's Day gifts.
They do
No.
let me sleep in on occasion. That's the best
Oh,
gift.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's take a bet now. After Sunday, let's see what she gets.
Okay.
And let's compare it to what you get.
Sure. I mean, I got teenage boys, so rank up there right along with dogs. Yeah.
They'll probably both leave the same mess on the floor. It's you never know.
Yes. Yes. Do your dogs, are they fans of wet towels everywhere?
Can't say that they are.
So that's the main mess in our
Yeah, I
house.
understand.
Wet
What would you
towels.
like for Mother's Day?
I would like, any kind of pampering. I would love like a massage or just honestly, if it's a nice day, just everything set up in the backyard, some flowers, the hammock, just relaxation and being with my guys. Like just have them cook a meal or us go out, just be together.
Well, one of the things you could do is you could head out to Beacon Park. They're going to have massage chairs out there. You can get a massage.
perfect.
It's going to be a special Mother's Day lunch menu at Lumen.
I
if
do
you
love
wanna-
that park. Okay, guys, that's a good idea.
Is it dog friendly?
Yes.
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 Yeah, but it's more likely that her dogs listen to the podcast than your sons.
Well, don't be so sure of that.
A couple other things going on around town. Friday, May 10th, you've got comedian Natasha Leggero from Chelsea Lately. Also, the Comedy Central Roast going to be at
She's
Andiamo
great.
Showroom. You've played that room.
I've played that room
It's a good
3
room?
times. Yeah, it's an amazing room. Yeah.
Who'd you play with?
The first time I was there, the first time I went there to see a comedian I was there to see Joan Rivers. And so the very
wow.
next time I was there was on that stage to open for Jeff Ross,
Wow.
which was super cool.
You know, I want to know how you got into comedy in the first place. We didn't talk about that.
I just, you know what? Ever since I was a little kid, I have a funny family, and I liked making people laugh.
Yeah.
And I was working my way around my grandparents' house telling a joke that I had overheard probably my uncle tell, and just loved the attention that I was getting, and that people were laughing. And then my mom came in and overheard me and was like, "Don't tell that joke ever again." So, she nipped my budding comedy career right at the start. But no, I always liked making people laugh. I just didn't know it was going to go in this direction. So I even have jokes that I wrote on scrap paper at my grandparents' house.
Oh, neat.
Oh, nice.
That you can tell Joan Rivers was my idol back then, just by the jokes I was writing.
Okay.
Very cool. Saturday, May 11th, you've got Detroit Touch a Truck that's happening at the West Riverfront. More than 25 large vehicles are going to be on display. I guess the idea is you bring young kids and they can
Yes.
touch the truck.
Yes, I've done many of these when my boys were small. They'd do it in Huntington Woods or Berkeley. And, you know, kids of a certain age are just so fascinated by like the garbage truck coming as an event, you know, so the fact that they can get up and sit in the driver's seat and check it all out, big fun.
I don't know why that just touch a truck sounds dirty to me.
It does.
The name
I
is-
know. Anything.
I'm glad it's not just me.
No, I was going to go there too. And I'm like, no, Seth will say that.
I'll say that. You know, just a little fingering of the tailpipe or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, I was almost on board, so
You're like, what's
I
this?
jotted it down to look into it further.
Grapes of Wrath is opening this weekend at the Michigan Opera Theater, and the Tony Award-winning Waitress is featuring songs by Sarah Bareilles. That's going to be opening at the Fisher Theater.
This is the D.
Detroit.
This is the D. Breathe.
All right, there it is, Tonya. Your first podcast with us.
Very fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun here. I want to let you know about a couple things. We've got a mobile app. You can download it for your iPhone or for your Android phone, and there's a ton of bonus content in there, including like interviews with Mark Ridley, for example, that we did that you can hear in there. So go check that out.
We're on your Amazon Echo. Just say, Alexa, enable the Debrief podcast.
And again, don't forget, on Friday, we have Paul Reiser Jr. of Techtown Detroit. He's going to talk about this Motown Musician Accelerator program that is happening, which is really cool, especially
Good stuff.
If you're a musician or you're in a band and you want to get your career off the ground, you're definitely going to want to know the details about this. But also, if you're working in some kind of tech that is related to music.
Yeah, I find that fascinating.
Yeah, you're going to want to find out about this as well. Look, before we get out of here, Tonya, we always like to do shout outs. Somebody that you want to give a shout out to locally. Becky, let's start with you.
Sure. So one of our legends here in Detroit just passed away, Russ Gibb. So a lot of people know him as the founder of the Grandy Ballroom. He's the one that signed the lease, started this legendary club. It only ran for, I think it was like 7 years or so in the late 60s to early 70s, but it was like the place to play if you were a rock band or R&B and just on fire type of place. Everybody went there. It was a great atmosphere.
Who were the bands that would have been coming through at that time? I'm trying to think.
I mean, any of the locals like MC5, Iggy Pop, and all those. But even bigger, like I said, it was like playing, Madison Square Garden or something, but not on that size level, but that sort of prestige. Like everybody around the country, the Grandy Ballroom in Detroit, So what was cool is after he passed away, there was a little kind of pop-up memorial flash mob sort of thing there when people of a certain age that remembered, going to the club, they showed up on the corner of Grand River and Beverly Court. That's still there, but it's abandoned. I mean, there's trees growing out of it. It's, in sad state. But somebody brought some kind of like generator, powered up this amplifier, playing MC5 songs and that kind of thing, and blowing bubbles and honoring Russ Gibb. So he's legendary for that. He was a local radio DJ for a time, entrepreneur, and I knew him originally as a Dearborn High School teacher because my husband went there, and always talked about, they call them the giblets, his students in like video and film production. And several of our good friends still to this day, they like credit Russ with giving them their people and their creative outlet, and that have now gone into work at advertising or filmmaking and things like that. So he shaped a lot of people's careers. So he was 87. Just passed away. And there's a cool film you can go see to learn more about the Grandy Ballroom. It's called Louder Than Love, the story of the Grandy Ballroom, made by a local guy. I think he's from Lake Orion. It's on Amazon and PBS, and it's going to be hitting Netflix soon.
Perfect. Tonya, what about you? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I would like to give a shout out to Make-A-Wish of Michigan. They just had their Walk for Wishes at the Detroit Zoo, and I've been volunteering with them for a long time. And it's such a great organization because so much of the stuff they do is with volunteers. So the money that they collect goes right to the wish. So they always are looking for volunteers. They're always looking for donations. And michigan.wish.org is their website, and you can always go check out more about Make-A-Wish.
Oh, that's awesome. Look, I want to give a shout. I feel weird giving this shout out.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I feel a little odd, but I want to give a shout out to something that I'm looking forward to, which is
Touch a Truck.
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Flower Day at Eastern Market, which is coming up on May 19th. I assume you're familiar with this event.
My cousin goes to that every year.
So it's crazy town.
So I bought a house last year for the first time. Spent the first year getting the inside of the house looking like what we wanted. Now I'm working on the outside, the backyard and all that.
Oh, so you
Such
need
a
your
project.
flowers.
Well, look, there's a lot of freaking work that goes into a house. I mean,
yeah.
it is a much bigger.
I've been a homeowner for a very long time.
Yeah, it is. I did not realize how much more difficult it was than owning just like a condo.
Oh, for sure.
And so now, one of the advantages in my book is you get to do whatever you want to do with the landscaping.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, but I'm not paying.
You can
for
put
all
a
that.
fire-breathing dragon
Right.
sculpture if you want.
A grasshopper. That's
Or
a good
grasshopper,
idea.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I would totally do that. But I'm also, I'm like, I gotta be a man. I gotta do this. I'm digging the trenches. And,
Let me get my hands dirty.
2 days this weekend, because the weather was nice, all I did was move dirt from the front yard to the backyard. Filled the wagon.
That's a thankless.
Had to be 50 times with just topsoil and mulch. And I've been researching for 3 months, waiting for the weather to break.
I despise yard work. I despise it because you make it look all nice,
Yes.
and then in a few weeks you got to go back out there because
And
there's weeds.
just do it again.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what I'm planting everywhere in every spot. I've mapped it all out. And now I got to go find places to buy it.
There you go.
And so I'm looking at different nurseries. And
My life hack is don't go on Flower Day.
Really?
It's so crowded and overwhelming and crazy, and they have the same kind of flowers at the same great prices the other weekends. Just go back the following weekend.
So just go some other time.
yes.
So here's what I don't know, because I've never landscaped before, is that I've picked out all these plants because from my internet research and whatever, and this will go here and go there. But it's not like Amazon where you can just order it up and boom.
No.
It shows. I mean, some of those really common things, but then there are some plants that
Might be specialty. You got to hit up like an English Gardens or
right.
yeah.
So I'm gonna.
But there's a huge variety at Eastern Market, and they're locally grown. Like you can feel really good about supporting people that are farmers and gardeners. So
But they have that every weekend.
yeah, there's always flowers there. So
Right.
yeah, for sure. That's
Nice.
kind of just the kickoff. But then you can go any other weekend after that, and there's tons.
All right. And how
tip.
can I? Because you're not supposed to plant before Mother's Day. That's
Correct. Which is this Sunday.
the rule. Right. So I can start planting now. I got another 50. Wagon full of dirt.
Right. And you watch the weather forecast. Make sure there's not a hard frost predicted. That's what you want.
How
to
late can I plant?
Oh, I mean, you could plant stuff in July. You just have to make sure and keep it watered.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling that anxiety.
No.
Oh yeah, you'll have a big pile of dirt, and then you'll be like, "Really? That's all it did? Like, I
Right.
need more than that." Like when you first see the pile of dirt, you're like,
Right.
"Oh, like I don't need all this," and then you're like, "Oh, it's gone, and I still have half a yard to do."
Right. It might rain. I had to go buy a bigger tarp for my pile of dirt
To
that's in
cover.
the driveway.
Yeah.
that was my day.
Well, plus you got to look at perennials versus annuals.
Yeah, my life has changed. I used to be cool. I listen to
Yeah.
NPR now.
Right. To the Master Gardener show.
All right. Let's get out of here. Look, thank you so much, Tonya. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
The album is out now. It was my birthday. Where can people get it?
They can get it online. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music, Amazon. It's on all the online streaming, and you can purchase online too.
And where can they find you online? And if they want to follow you on social media?
On social media, I'm Rowdy Tonya. It's Rowdy with an I. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. And I have my website, tonyamurray.com. I always keep my schedule updated on that.
Perfect. And speaking of the schedule, you've got a show coming up at the Holly Hotel.
Yeah, I'll be headlining. I'm super excited to be headlining the Holly Hotel June 21st and 22nd. 2 shows both nights. So you can get tickets in advance on hollyhotel.com.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks so much. We'll have you guys join us again tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Until then, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
The Debrief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.
Hi, Craig Foley here. If you're listening to the Debrief podcast, well, I've got 2 things to say to you. 1, you have impeccable taste. 2, you care about the community that is Metro Detroit. That's why I think you'd appreciate my daily show, The Craig Foley Show on Deadline Detroit. Every weekday, I tackle the big issues in politics, business, arts and culture, sports. Whatever's on the mind of Detroiters and Michiganders, we will talk about it. It's all open for discussion. And keep this in mind, news doesn't have to be boring. Sure, we talk about serious stories and we have interviews and commentary, but we do it in a way that, if I'm doing my job right, is informative but also entertaining. Check out The Craig Foley Show on Deadline Detroit for news, knowledge, hopefully some fun tossed in.
Hi, I'm Ann DeLisi from 1019 WDET. Well, for years I've been talking with people who are artists to find out what drives their creative spirit. And those extended sit-downs have now culminated in a new podcast series titled Essential Conversations. In the inaugural episodes, I talk with MC5 guitarist Wayne Kramer about the early days of the MC5, jazz artists Esperanza Spalding and Terry Lynn Carrington as they critique each other's teaching style. I turn the tables on writer and humorist Mo Rocca, and official White House photographer for the Obama administration, Pete Souza, talks about the night Osama bin Laden was captured. You can find Essential Conversations wherever you download your podcasts.